And that's you in the video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
Texted, I'm sorry. We've seen a lot of texts today.
It's all right. I did text someone yesterday.
You gave quite a bit of testimony in that trial, right?
I wouldn't be able to judge that myself. It felt like a lot.
You were drinking pretty heavily.
Were you there?
Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that right?
You did, sir.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right. I mean, she just stayed with that.
Right,
you'd have to accept
it came from you. The term
unless
came
you
from
wanted to argue.
Sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right?
Isn't happy hour anytime?
We're gonna fast forward in time a little bit, Mr. Depp.
Yes, I can feel it.
You poured yourself a mega pint of red wine, correct?
A mega pint.
With respect, trying to respect the court's time and the jury's time, that was not my question. The question was simply,
understand when
you
you
would
take
agree,
5 minutes to look for a
you would agree. And on line 11, are you there? Do you have the document up?
Online?
No, I'm sorry. Is it in your hand? Okay, great.
We have officially entered Shitgate. If you are not familiar with Shitgate, I don't know where you've been. I have no idea where you've been. I can't help you. I can't help you. Actually, I'm lying. I can't help you in talking about Shitgate because I have been watching this shit very, very closely. I have inspected the Amber Heard shit photos, Shitgate, as I like to call it. And it's slightly grotesque. I think it's kind of ridiculous that her defense team is trying to paint it as a dog shit situation. Dog shit gate. I mean, that essentially that's kind of what it is. It is dog shit. The actual shit in question, I do not believe is dog shit. They literally, like, Johnny Depp literally has like these small, like little, like Yorkies, and they're trying to pass off a human shit as Yorkie shit, and it fucking drives me nuts. It literally drives me nuts. But anyway, this is gonna be a jam-packed episode. I have a huge list of notes here. Of a lot of things that I want to get to. So let's hop right in, shall we? Let's go ahead and ease those dulcet tones of that incredible theme song to the Incredidrome Podcast. But I want to kind of start off on a little bit of a light-hearted front. Because again, this Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, I mean, all jokes aside, like it is something that is, it's kind of painful to watch a little bit, or a lot of it actually, because I have been watching it so in depth. I've been available, let's just say, to watch the case in its entirety, and it's really, really been something that's really kind of affected me and really pushed me to question a lot of things, and it really is kind of a learning process to really kind of learn about law and how situations in court are handled, how a defense team handles their client, defends their client, how a plaintiff's team really has the burden of proof to be able to prove a case against a defendant. And so before we get into all that, I really kind of want to start off with something a little wholesome. All right. We've got a little situation here that occurred recently on April 24th with Selena Gomez. She kind of had a bit of a meltdown on TikTok live. So let's go ahead and see what that meltdown entails. This video, if you search it up, it's from YouTube channel Selinator Videos. He's got 83 subscribers. Hope you get a little bit more. I hope you get a bit more. If anything, you're beating me. So more power to you. Selena stands. All right, let's go. Let's see what this meltdown was about.
I don't know how it works. I'm so sorry, guys. This is my first time, well, probably second time trying to do live, and it's actually very weird.
TikTok live is weird, to be fair.
Thank you for the filters. Is it true that people give you money when you're live?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
That's what that stuff is. All those things popping. Look at all them roses.
But like
Jealous.
fake money.
Fake money. Crypto.
No, I don't want people to do that though. No. If there's no. If there's anything that's like paying, please do not. That's so messed up.
Not really, Selena, but I understand why you feel that way.
Oh, but the rare impact fund that I've done is really important to me. I hope nobody is giving me anything that they don't need to, because I just wanted to do this for fun and have a good time with everyone. Should I get off? I feel bad.
That face, I felt like she looked like she was about to cry.
Oh, I can turn it off in settings. That's great. Okay. Wait, stop.
We're finding
Too many filters.
She's trying to figure it out. Come on, Selena. We got this.
Well,
she's just like, nope. Oh, she paused. She paused it and then she stopped it. I mean, listen, to me, that was something that was particularly wholesome. I've seen people online kind of talking shit about it, like, oh, it's so dishonest. Like, you love making money, you're a celebrity, you make, millions and millions and millions of doll hairs. And the thing is, it's like, she makes her money, but the thing is she's not somebody that's making her money on social media. I'm sure that she has brand deals and stuff like that, but her career is being who she is. She's an actress, she's a singer, and she's very good at what she does. Like, she's a sweet young girl, and I mean, I don't know. I understood that as something that was very genuine that she was feeling. She was just like, no, like, I just literally came on to talk to my fans and have fun. Like, I don't want y'all to send me money. It's okay. Like, come see me on tour. We can all dance, laugh, and have a great time. I don't need you to send me like cool little sunglasses and money guns and, like the galaxy and all the things that you can get on TikTok, or like the Instagram badges and stuff like that. So I don't know. Yeah, I thought that was something that was particularly wholesome. I love Selena Gomez. I just think that she's one of those excuse me. She's one of those young celebrities that she's grown up in the public eye, and I believe that she's handled her career and her celebrity status very well. For somebody who doesn't fully know what it's like to be a simpleton like you or I believe that she's definitely been handling herself well, and I think that she's got some good people around her that keep her grounded. I've never seen anything salacious come from Selena Gomez, so I don't know. I just thought that was something that was particularly wholesome. So anyway, feel how you feel how you want to feel about it. All right, so before we get into the Amber Heard of it all, we just found out yesterday that Mr. Senor, hold on. Wait, why is this happening? Sorry. Technical difficulties. This is what happens when you are a one-man show. So Elon Musk fucking it's official. Elon oh my God. I'm a little apprehensive. I have to say, just a skosh. But instead of just focusing on the fact that he's literally the owner of Twitter now, I saw this article from BBC News that's titled "Elon Musk warned he must protect Twitter users," and I've got to say, I feel a little similar. I respect Twitter for the platform that it is. I mean, sure, there have been certain decisions that they've made about banning certain people that have been kind of like, like I understand, it's like, hey, you own the company, and people come to your social media base and they do something you don't like and you boot them. I get that you have the right to do that, but I don't know. It's just it's kind of something in certain situations it's a little weird. So I definitely, in him coming and taking over, because I know he has very strong feelings about Twitter, I have to admit I'm a little apprehensive about it. I don't necessarily know, just like the rest of us, don't necessarily know what it means to have Elon Musk be in control of Twitter. Like, what is he going to allow and not allow the users to be able to do on the website? So I came across this article, so I thought it would be interesting to read. It goes, Elon Musk has been warned he must protect Twitter users from harmful content after he struck a $44 billion deal to buy the social media giant. The billionaire vowed to relax content restrictions. Okay, all right. You're winning me over, Mr. Musk. You're winning me over. Sparking fears from human rights groups, it could lead to a rise in bullying and misinformation. I mean, I kind of feel like, before I get into the rest of it, I kind of feel like the internet is such a wide landscape that you can't police everything. You can't police everything. I think that people who are innately dangerous, like I don't want to go to like a serial killer's freaking Twitter page. I don't want to go to a person who essays people's Twitter page. I don't want to see shit like that. You know what I mean? But as far as people that like have their political beliefs and stuff like that, like I have my own beliefs. I'm not trying to cancel people for, having alternative beliefs from how I feel, because obviously that's just stupid. But I do think that there is room to relax certain restrictions, but also keep the integrity of others, if that makes any sense. Quote, regardless of ownership, all social media platforms must be responsible, Boris Johnson's spokesman said. The European Commission also warned Mr. Musk that he must protect users, be it cars or social media. Any company operating in Europe needs to comply with our rules, regardless of their shareholding. Terry Breton, commissioner for the internal market at the EU executive, warned in a tweet. The European Union has said its new online rules will overhaul the digital market, including how tech giants operate. Once they come into force, there will be, or wait, let me read that again. Once they come into force, there will need to be a greater transparency around why content is recommended to users or why they are being targeted with certain ads, for example. You see, the bedrock of democracy. Mr. Musk, who is a self-described free speech, free speech. Sorry, my Hispanicness is coming out slightly a little bit. And let me start that again. Free speech. Sir, your Puerto Rican is showing. Mr. Musk, who is a self-described free speech absolutist. I've never heard the word absolutist before. There's an ist for everything these days. Has been vocal in his criticism of Twitter's policies on moderating content, arguing that it needs to be a genuine forum for free speech. Again, I agree with that, with reasonable limitation. Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where it matters. Oh, wait, what? Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated, he said on announcing the deal. Listen, not everybody takes Twitter that seriously. I understand that he does because he has a lot of followers. So that's essentially like you standing in a room with a lot of people just listening to your nonsense and stuff. But I kind of feel like he's taking Twitter a little too serious. I mean, I get why, but to a simpleton like you and I, it's not that serious. The social media firm faces growing pressure from politicians and regulators over the content that appears on its platform. It has drawn critics from left and right over its efforts to mediate misinformation. It's in one of its most I can't fucking read today. What is the sitch? In one of its most high profile moves. Wait, did I? Oh, I'm melting down literally on camera. In one of its most high profile moves, last year it banned former US President Donald Trump, perhaps its most powerful user, citing the risk of incitement of violence. But in a series of tweets, Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, who sits on the firm's board, welcomed Mr. Musk's takeover, describing him as the singular solution I trust. He said the firm has been owned by Wall Street and that Mr. Musk's decision to delist the shares and take it private was the correct first step. Now, of course, I'm an idiot and I don't fully understand what all that means, but hopefully it's good. Twitter will continue to serve the public conversation, he said, but added he did not believe anyone should own or run Twitter. But in a Twitter thread, Amnesty International said, "We are concerned with any steps that Twitter might take to erode enforcement of the policies and mechanisms designed to protect users." The last thing we need is a Twitter that willfully turns a blind eye to violent and abusive speech against users. I agree with that, particularly those who disproportionately impacted, including to those most disproportionately impacted, including women, non-binary person, not non-binary. Oh my God, non-binary. Hey, I'm learning myself something new today. I'll read the entire quote again because I don't want to fuck it up because I think this is very important. The last thing we need is a Twitter that willfully turns a blind eye to violent and abusive speech against users, particularly the most disproportionately impacted, including women, non-binary persons, and others. Twitter did not immediately respond to a BBC request for comment on the concerns raised. The 11-member board of Twitter unanimously agreed to Mr. Musk's $44 billion offer. Twitter chief executive Parag Agrawal has also addressed employees at a meeting where he said the future of the company was uncertain, according to the Reuters news agency. Once the deal closes, we don't know which direction the platform will go, Mr. Agrawal reportedly said. Will people leave Twitter? Mr. Musk said that he hopes even the strongest critics will remain on the platform because that is what free speech means. However, some users have threatened to leave Twitter while others have already quit. British actor Jamila Jamil, who is best known for her role in a TV series The Good Place, said she expects the platform to become an even more lawless, hateful, xenophobic, bigoted, misogynistic space. I would like this to be my last tweet, Miss Jamil told her 1 million followers. He got Twitter. I would like this to be my what lies here as my I would like this to be my what lies here. Jamila, sorry, your sentence structure is slightly terrible. I would like this to be my what lies here as my last tweet. Yeah, you know what? I mean, Elon Musk is really pushing for an edit button, and I feel like she would have definitely benefited from an edit button on this here post. Just saying. Just really any excuse to show pics of Barold. What the fuck? What is she saying? I fear this free speech bid is going to help this hell platform reach its final form of totally lawless hate bigotry. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I understand that Twitter is like a bit of like a dumping ground for a lot of like crazy people, but it already exists. It literally exists now. I literally feel like this comment is just her, like, she's trying to paint a picture like Twitter's perfect as it is now, but Elon Musk is going to come in and fuck it up. Like, Twitter's not perfect now. You know, Twitter like is insane. Like, Twitter literally is like what, one of the only fucking social media platforms that allows you can't say that word, but adult interaction, which I'm totally cool with. But the space that she's referring to about lawless hate, bigotry, and misogyny, it already exists on Twitter. It literally does. It may not exist on your timeline because it's very structured to what it is that you want to see and you want to hear. But sorry to report it to you, Jamila, as somebody who is a homosexual male. I see it everywhere. Okay, I see it everywhere in life, see it everywhere on Twitter, Facebook, all of these social medias. You can't get rid of it. It's never going to end. As much as I would like to live in a world that everybody loves each other and there's no hate, it's just never going to happen. It's just not realistic. Back to the article. Meanwhile, Carolyn or Bueno, a postdoctoral researcher at the University of Maryland, said that for now, she will stay on the platform where she has more than 450,000 followers. Yeah, of course she's going to stay because she has a huge following. I have like 400 followers or something on Twitter. Like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, I don't give a shit, you know, like, it's whatever. If somebody wants to, you know, like say shit to me online and, you know, call me, you know, the homophobic F word slur, that's fine. It's just words on the internet. It doesn't matter. Like, I'm a 31-year-old man, you know, shit like that super affected me when I was a kid. You know, so I know how damaging it can be. But the thing about it is just that, you know, it's not gonna go anywhere. You can't get rid of it. This drives me nuts. I'm going to hop down her tweet. For those who have asked, yes, I'm staying on Twitter. There are still a lot of good people working at Twitter, and we have no idea what it will look like under Elon Musk's ownership. Very true statement. What we do know is that if all the decent people leave, it'll get bad here a whole lot faster. Again, there's still a lot of shit people on Twitter. I don't think it's something that you can avoid, period. But I mean, I fully respect 100% what she said. What Caroline said makes a hell of a lot more sense than Jamila. So sorry, Jamila. Let's go to, let me see the end. Okay, this is the end. All right, cool. I thought there was going to be another quote. Dan Ives, an analyst at investment firm. Why are you throwing these words? I hate how these articles are written. Why can't you like write like a dumbed down article, like, you know, fucking Yahoo News for Dummies, some shit like that. Dan Ives, an analyst at investment firm Wedbush Securities, told the BBC that he expected most users to take a wait and see approach. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and even if Elon Musk does some weird shit with Twitter, like, I'm still gonna keep my fucking, like, I follow too many people. Like, Twitter, there's so much shit to absorb on Twitter, you know, like I'm trying to like build a commentary channel. I record podcasts now weekly. So sorry, need Twitter. It's very useful. Now, it's about courting new users and stopping defectors from the platform, Mr. Ives said. On Monday, White House spokesperson Jen Psaki told reporters that U.S. President Joe Biden has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, regardless of whoever owns or runs Twitter. Democrat Senator Elizabeth Warren said the deal was dangerous for our democracy while pushing for a wealth tax and strong rules to hold big tech accountable. All right, Elizabeth Warren, chill the fuck out. Like, it's not dangerous for our democracy. It's like, you know, I want to be respectful because, you know, I'm sure she's a very intelligent woman, not trying to, you know, sit here and call her out of her name and stuff like that. But I'm sorry, that's a little bit of a shit take. Actually, it's a lot of bit of a shit take, just saying. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn welcomed the agreement as an encouraging day for freedom of speech. Also, that's a shit take. I'm sorry. Listen, Marsha Blackburn, respectfully, shit take. Okay, it's not an encouraging day for freedom of speech. Okay, obviously, as somebody who's a conservative, I would see how you could feel that way. But the thing is, there are a lot of conservative people on the platform. The conservative people that have been removed from the platform are the ones who just continue to push to inflict emotional and mental pain on marginalized communities. Okay. If you're going to sit there and you're going to start talking about trans women, that they're pieces of shit and they shouldn't exist. And it's all like, like a mental deficiency and all this fucking bullshit, or that being gay is a choice, being a lesbian is a choice. The LGBTQIA plus community is just like this perverted, subsect of the human existence. Yeah, I feel like those people, yeah, you should totally be moved from Twitter because you're a piece of shit. But I mean, at the end of it, my take is, let's just wait and see. I honestly really think that we're going to all end up learning that it really doesn't matter, that it really is something that is just, I mean, it's not going to feel much different. I really don't think, but I really do like the idea of the fact that they are going to include an edit button on Twitter. So that's something that I can get behind. But as far as everything else, I mean, let's just wait and see. Let's just wait and see. Let's just stop being, this human, society that literally just is always like just mad and fucking just raging about everything. I think that's much more of a waste of time, sitting and trying to tell people what they should and should not say. If you find something offensive or if you don't like somebody, simply don't watch them. Okay, enough about Elon Musk. I do have another story here. That kind of hurts. It kind of hurts a little bit, but then again, I don't know the full story, so I hold my judgment. This story that's been kind of circulating a little bit about Bill Murray. So I have an article here from Deadline. It says Being Mortal production suspended due to complaint against Bill Murray for inappropriate behavior. Now, obviously, inappropriate behavior is a very broad term, so we don't necessarily know what that means, but let's go ahead and see what the article tells us. Following the news that production was suspended on the Searchlight film Being Mortal, sources tell Deadline the suspension had to do with a complaint made against star Bill Murray for inappropriate behavior. It is unknown at this time what Murray's involvement in the project will be going forward as the investigation remains active. Insiders add that Aziz Ansari, who was starring, writing, and making his directorial debut on the film alongside his partner Yuri Henley, was not a part of the complaint, nor was co-star Seth Rogen. Searchlight said it does not comment during ongoing investigations. The complaint was filed last week. Production was halted on Monday, and a decision ultimately was made to suspend production going forward as the investigation continues and next steps are decided on. Cast and crew were told about the production being suspended last night in a letter sent out to by the studio. And just for clarity, this article was posted on the 21st. So this was a situation that happened last week that I'm just kind of getting to now. I've kind of been holding this in my notes over the weekend. The film is based on Atul Gawande's nonfiction book Being Mortal, Medicine and What Matters in the End. Principal photography had started March 28th, and sources say it was halfway through before the production halted this week. The plan was to release the film in 2023. It is unknown at this time if the suspension will affect the release. Obviously, I'm just kind of at a point where I just like, I mean, it's sad because, Bill Murray is somebody who very much had a large impact on my childhood, as I'm sure is the same for a lot of you out there. I'm pretty sure everybody at this point has seen movies like Ghostbusters, was it Stripes? Is another one he was in? A lot of these movies, they're staples of our childhood, and really, it just really sucks. I mean, it's really kind of the only thing I can say. It's a really unfortunate situation, but I can't fully form an opinion on it because it's like, well, what is it? They're not really going to say what necessarily the inappropriate behavior was. I mean, is it an essay allegation? Is it just, him being a dick? Is it kind of like the situation with Christian Bale on the set of Terminator Salvation when he flipped out, one of the crew members because he was in his eye line and he was like in a really serious, intense scene and this guy's like fucking around in the background and he messed up, he took him out of the zone or some shit like that. Like, is it that? Like, what is it? I know uh the only thing that I can kind of compare it to that if it is similar to this person, then I understand and it's going to make it more sad. But somebody like Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is another person who was very much a staple in my childhood. I mean, come on, like you throw a rock and you can, hit one of the awesome movies that Chevy Chase did when we were younger. And he's sort of notoriously been a piece of shit. He's notoriously been an asshole. You could find any story online or any quote, I guess, from people that worked with him on the set of Community. Joel McHale. I remember he said a couple things about, he's like, well, yeah, we're button heads. He was kind of being like uh real in the middle about it, not wanting to like totally bash Chevy Chase, but also wasn't shying away from the fact that yeah, Chevy Chase was kind of a piece of shit. So seeing stuff like that really kind of makes me feel a certain kind of way. But again, I want to hold full judgment until an actual more solidified story comes out where it's like, Bill Murray, did this, said this, and so on. Until then, it just is going to be what it is. So enough about that. Enough about the. So we're going to move on now to the nitty gritty. Okay. So obviously, as I stated earlier in the podcast, I am very closely following the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. I mean, so much so that I watch it every day. I've seen every hour of the trial thus far, and we're already in week 3. And things are amping up. Johnny Depp was on the stand for like 4 days and he had like some insanely sassy moments as we saw at the beginning of the episode here, that TikTok that I threw in. It's been interesting, but the thing that aggravates me the most about this is that I see a lot of discourse online. Like, sure, there are a lot of people that are on Johnny Depp's side, but I don't think that a lot of them understand why Johnny Depp he's not fully in the right, obviously, because an abusive relationship, both mentally and physically, between two people, in a lot of cases is very much just that. It's something that's between those two people. Now, probably more so, you'll find where, yeah, sure, one person is shittier than the other. Yeah, you obviously have a lot of domestic abuse situations where a lot of women really do get abused and R worded and then things of that nature. And it's absolutely fucking abhorrent. It absolutely is something that is incredibly shitty and fucking horrible. I agree. Abolish all that, right? But in this case, I really feel like in order for people to really have informed, intelligent opinions about it, you have to watch it. Don't fucking read articles like I just did from, Deadline about, Bill Murray. But again, it's like I read the article and I'm still coming from the aspect of, hey, all it just says it's inappropriate behavior that Bill Murray engaged in. I don't know what that inappropriate behavior means, but in this case with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, we are learning what the inappropriate behavior is and what the abuse is and the extent of the gaslighting and things like that, and seeing it really in whole. And in my experience watching it, I've been very sort of not surprised, but disturbed by how the process of a defense team really frames things in these kind of cases, because it really just has been Amber Heard's lawyers really just picking and choosing what it is that they want to just throw in and nail Johnny Depp down, right? They don't want him to talk. They don't want the jury to understand the nuance and the eccentricity of the way that he speaks or the way that he thinks. Johnny Depp is very much somebody to me that just literally he's kind of like a poet, right? Like he has these very grand ideas about things, and he really has like this view of the world and life, and he just has a certain way about him. And I had just seen earlier that, you know, Howard Stern's coming out saying, oh, Johnny Depp, you know, he's overacting, he's a piece of shit, whatever. And it's just like, dude, if that's the opinion you're forming, that just tells me that all you're doing is just watching isolated clips online. You're watching like these, you know, these short TikTok summaries or whatever, and you're using that to form your opinion. And that is something that I vehemently disagree with. I think that if you are going to comment on something, and why I really feel strongly about continuing to talk about this is because I'm paying such close attention to it, and I am watching it in its entirety to learn everything. Okay. If it really, you know, in the end, at the end of the day, turns out that, yeah, Johnny Depp is, you know, he essayed her and he's abusive and he was beating the shit out of her, you know, then yeah, of course I would condemn the shit out of him. But the thing is that we're already 3 weeks into this trial, and we've heard a lot of recordings. We've seen video. We've had a lot of testimony, and Johnny Depp's already taken the stand and given his side, and has been, you know, questioned by his attorneys and was cross-examined by the defense team. And I'm sorry, but in watching it in its entirety, again, agreeing that they're both wrong, it's very clear to me that Amber Heard is somebody who is very much a gaslighting, entitled individual, and feels very strongly about protecting her image, and doesn't want to be revealed as a liar, even though that, in my opinion, feel that she's lying about a lot of things. And what really pushes me to believing that is, one, we have her defense team that literally shitgate is trying to convince the jury that a dog, a little Yorkie, okay, like I have a pit bull, okay, he's 110-pound pit bull. He takes big shits, okay. I understand that a large dog has the full fucking capacity and ability to take a huge shit. Okay, I get it, but I'm sorry. They have little fucking Yorkies. There's no way that little fucking dog got on that bed and provided that mess. And, you know, we have the housekeeper, you know, that was just kind of like, yeah, I've been with you for years, love dogs, never seen the little dog do that. Okay. You know, you've got uh, what's his name? He was just on the stand. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. His name was Ben. He's the guy who was the estate manager, you know, like the house manager for Johnny Depp in Australia. While he was filming Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Let me rephrase that. He was the house manager for both of them, for both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, had very close interactions with them, and was witness to a lot of the arguments, and was there for the fallout of Johnny Depp's finger getting cut off. You know, provided pictures to the attorneys for both the UK case as well as the US case. So there's just a lot of people that have already testified that, you know, they witnessed Amber being a piece of shit. Johnny Depp is a quiet man, you know, while it's like, yeah, he had raging moments. But the real question to me is what inspired those intense moments? We already had their marriage counselor have a deposition and really painted the picture that Johnny Depp is very much he's a hurt man who has a very damaged past, and there were a lot of triggers that came up in the relationship, including the fact that her her experience with them in session together was a lot of Amber not letting him talk. She wouldn't let him get his point across. She was really behaving in a manner that the marriage counseling, instead of it being about the marriage, was mostly about her being heard, Amber Heard being heard. Weird, ironic, I guess. And she just would do a lot of talking over Johnny. And then, once the, marriage therapist or marriage counselor, had some alone time with Johnny Depp and really was able to ask him direct questions and let him express himself, his thought process, his feelings, and all that, she really, really painted the picture that when allowed to talk, you can better understand where he is mentally. So having said all that, there's this whole huge situation with the Milani Cosmetics scenario. And the fact that in the opening statement of Amber Heard's team, they had this, makeup compact. She's just like, this is a product that Amber used. She carried it with her everywhere, and she covered all the bruises. Johnny Depp he's an abusive, violent ex-husband raging for revenge. And, Amber is just this little, fragile human being that was trying to hide the abuse, to not want to publicly shame him. And then in the same breath, it's just like, okay, well, as we're looking at all the evidence, that's exactly what she's doing. And the more that things unfold, it's just like, kind of seems like you're making a lot of this shit up. The math is not mathing. You know what I mean? But anyway, there's a lawyer on YouTube that I follow very closely. She's somebody that I first learned about from Ethan Klein on the H3 podcast, because she kind of came on and they had a discussion about Ethan Klein's Triller lawsuit, the whole, Ryan Kavanaugh bullshit. And in seeing that discussion that she had with Ethan, she just came off as insanely likable, and she knows her shit. And she essentially gained my subscribe to her channel incredibly quickly, and her channel is incredible. So I've been following her since, and I love watching her coverage. Whenever she is live, she live streams essentially daily the trial itself, and I love watching the trial with her commentary on the days that she's able to film. The days that she's not able to film, I'm watching the trial on my own, and I'm really I'm forming my own opinion about it, but not really understanding like the full law aspect of it. So I enjoy the fact that she has a space where we are able to watch it with her, and she really is able to explain the meaning behind a lot of things, and really gets her audience to understand this legal jargon and BS really means, and just really providing the perspective of how a jury sees or may see certain things, just really expanding on large ideas that simpletons, again, which is a word that I've used quite often today, just to really get us simpletons to understand what all of this nonsense means. So I really want to react to this summation that she put together on her Quick Bits channel. So she's got Emily D. Baker Quick Bits, or you can actually follow her her main channel where she does all of her live streaming, which is just Emily D. Baker. But I wanted to specifically react to this and really just really get her perspective on it. So let's go.
Have you seen what's going on with this MILANI makeup thing that's blowing up all over TikTok about Amber Heard's opening statement?
I sure have.
We
girl.
have got to talk.
Ooh, let's
Hey
talk
there,
about
I'm
it.
attorney and legal analyst Emily D. Baker. These are the quick bits. Warning, curse words ahead. Let's get into it.
She loves the cursey words.
In opening statements, Amber Heard's female attorney made a very large deal over a makeup compact that she said that Amber Heard used to cover bruises. And then the makeup company released a TikTok stating that that compact was not available until after the divorce.
Also known as a lie, Amber. A lie.
We are going to look at the opening statements. We are going to look at that TikTok very quickly. And then I am going to talk about the legal problems that Johnny Depp's team can exploit to their advantage and that Amber Heard's legal team have stepped in spectacularly all over social media. Let's take a look at this opening statement real quick.
Oh,
They
here we
chose not
go.
to go. They keep saying ex parte, but they chose not to appear, and they knew she was going to appear.
Talking about the
didn't
divorce.
call TMZ, but somebody called TMZ to take all those photos that
Amber
day.
being photographed
Now, you
with the
also
bruises
heard
on her
them say
face.
that all kinds of people saw Amber that week, and she didn't have any bruises on her face.
Let's talk about the bruises
Well,
and the
let me show
makeup.
you this.
Here we go.
This is what Amber carried in her purse
Oh, do
for
show
the
me.
entire relationship with
Right
Johnny
here.
Depp.
Her key. This is key. This is fucking key. You heard what she just said. This is something that she carried with her their entire relationship. Remember that.
She's an actor. Do you honestly think she would have left her apartment ever without makeup?
She never.
She's an actor. Do you honestly think she could possibly stand to be seen without makeup with a natural looking face? Amber Heard, let's not scoot around the fact that she's a very, very, very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. It's understandable why Johnny Depp was just so captivated by her while they were filming The Rum Diary. It's obvious why. She's very beautiful. So don't sit here and try to tell me like, do you really think that she could possibly be seen without makeup? The answer is yes. Yes. And if she feels that she can't fucking be seen without makeup, well, then that's an issue with her.
Left her
Think that
apartment
she
without
ever
makeup.
would have wanted other people to see her bruises and her cuts.
Still holding it.
This is what
She was on the
used.
cover of
She
People.
became very
See, this is a really good representation of what it's like to watch the trial with her. Like she adds a lot of light and humor, but then at the serious moments really provides intelligent perspective as to dissecting what it is that everyone is saying.
You're going to hear the testimony.
This is
from
what she
Amber
used.
about how she had to mix the different colors for the different days.
You're going to hear the testimony from Amber about
Mhm.
how she mixed the colors
Yup.
for the different days.
From the MILANI Cosmetics compact specifically, you are all going to hear it. She's being very direct in what she's saying. Very direct.
She is going to have to testify about this makeup palette.
And that's a moment that I'm sure a lot of us are waiting for. Okay. We need her on the stand to testify to all of these things that are coming out that are turning out to be lies, quite frankly. We already had Johnny Depp's side. So now it's time for you to pay the piper, Amber. It's time for you to answer. It's time for you to answer for all the nonsense.
Of the bruises as they developed in the different coloring and how she would use these to touch those up to be able to cover.
That, by the way, looks completely untouched and brand new. So it's not this particular one, but she keeps saying this.
Yep.
Listen to her words.
She's being very, very distinct about this. This product. Sorry, I just hit the mic. I hope it didn't fuck with the sound. She carried this with her. Not my vape, but she carried this with her entire relationship, and she used it to cover up the bruises that Johnny Depp inflicted on her face.
She also used concealer, foundation. You'll hear from her makeup person that Amber didn't even leave her bedroom without having foundation on. And one of the people that was
Johnny's
at the
just
building
like super into it. He's like,
testified.
really? Is
He
this
said
Apologies for the
she had
feed.
makeup on, and it would have covered that bruise. So That's the testimony on that.
That's there you go. This is going to turn out to be some very famous words, and that's the testimony on that. Well, I don't know about that.
Pay attention to when she says that this is what Amber carried the entirety of her relationship.
Yes, Emily.
Well, let me show you this. This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp.
This is what she carried for the entire relationship. Let's see what the company who makes that exact conceal and cover palette, this one,
I'm waiting with bated breath,
has to say.
Tell me, Emily, tell me.
On TikTok, Milani Cosmetics said, "You asked us, let the record show that our correcting kit launched in 2017. I'm not going to play the Backyardigans music. If you want to see that, you can go to TikTok and take a look. But this is their TikTok. What? Carried in her purse for the entire relationship? Milani color correcting and concealer palette. Take note, alleged abuse was around 2014 to 2016. Got divorced 2016. Makeup palette release date, December 2017.
I don't know. Methinks that kind of sounds like a lie that Amber Heard's defense people are telling, huh? A little sus. It's a little sus.
They show them going through the offices at Milani Cosmetics. They show the exact palette and confirmed release 2017. Why does this matter? This matters because what they promised the testimony will show in opening statement is not going to be what the testimony can show, because this attorney stood up with her whole chest and said,
whole fucking chest.
This is what she used. She'll tell you how she mixed the colors. How did she mix the colors on something that didn't exist?
And that's the testimony on that. That is literally what she said. It is literally in the fucking transcript. All of this. The jury is literally going to be thinking about all of this.
How is she going to testify exactly how she did it?
Yup.
If it didn't exist. And she didn't say it.
Listen, I love the likes of, a David Blaine or David Copperfield, or Chris Angel Mind Freak. I love magicians and, foolery and stuff. I'm a Harry Potter watcher, okay? A reader, all right? But this is some fucking sorcery that I can't wait to see y'all try to prove. If it didn't exist, how the fuck were you using it? If you were the inventor of it, apparently, because that's what that would mean, then I don't know. Why aren't you the face of Milani Cosmetics? Well, apparently right now you're the face of Milani Cosmetics for all the wrong reasons.
One like this. And now there might be an opportunity for Amber Heard's entire team to just ignore this and say it didn't happen. But in opening statement, she promised you will hear Amber Heard's testimony of how she mixed it to cover the different days of the bruises.
Yeah. I keep wanting to harp on the point. She ended the statement with, and that's the testimony on that. That's what I'm hanging on.
I don't think Amber Heard can testify without addressing how she covered it up so that people did not see her bruises, because part of her argument is that she covered it up so well that people didn't know. But Depp's argument
me suspects that is possible because it didn't fucking happen.
That people didn't know because the injury didn't exist and the photographs were staged. This is going to be a critical point of contention. Is there still time for Johnny Depp's legal team to get the business records from Milani Cosmetics? Yes, because this is a 6-week trial. We just finished week 2. And they don't have to turn over impeachment evidence. So they can pull this evidence and hold it till they cross-examine Amber Heard. The cross-examination of Amber Heard is going to be fiery. Her legal team has to be trying to figure out a way to address this. They have to be trying to come up with a strategy. But this is out there now, and there's no going back. There's no way that Johnny Depp's legal team won't be aware of this, and there's no way that Amber Heard's legal team won't have to figure out how to backtrack from the bold statement made in opening that this is the exact palette she used. If you're going to use demonstratives, you better make sure that they are right, especially when you are live streaming in 4K. Because on this one, Amber Heard's legal team got caught in 4K making promises that they might not be able to deliver on. I want to know what you think down below. Thank you for joining me for this quick bit. Thank you for joining me for today's.
Let me tell you, Emily, my summation of that is, hey, if you're going to lie, you better lie well. All right. You better have, I mean, I just don't understand how they would be able to get out of it. Again, like like Emily just said, you know, it was a very bold opening statement. And I am what I'm most curious about. I mean, obviously this is a small piece, you know, it's kind of like super it I mean, well, let me not demean the severity of the situation as a whole, but this aspect about the makeup, it becomes bigger to me as the days go on, because the defense team has really, really, really hammered on Johnny Depp's side, that he, you know, they're lying, or they're like, you know, maybe could possibly be, you know, hiding certain evidence or pictures and things like that. So it's like, if you're really going to be moving forward and accusing the plaintiff and his team of being shady and of lying and such, then you better have a very ironclad case, a very fucking ironclad case. And this is just kind of, this is just a chink in the armor for me. It's just one of the things that I am most curious about seeing how Johnny Depp's team is going to handle. I really, really, really am curious to see how they're going to handle their cross-examination of Amber Heard and of anybody, you know, that she calls to, or her team calls to the witness stand. You know, how is Johnny Depp's team going to handle their strategy of cross-examination? We've already seen plenty of scenarios of Amber Heard's team sort of salaciously conducting their cross-examination. But of course, in learning about everything through Emily D. Baker, I'm really, really, really learning about just what is the intention of a defense team in a cross-examination, or cross-examination in general. I mean, obviously in cross-examination, it's clear that you are able to say things that may not be true, because what you're doing is you're trying to catch up the person that, you know, who you have in deposition. You're trying to catch them in a lie, essentially. So I really, really, really am curious to see what Johnny Depp's team's tactic will be in really fleshing all these lies out. Perfect example. Before I get off this topic, one of the things that they showed that they ended on last week, Friday, was a video that Amber secretly recorded of Johnny Depp in their kitchen, whatever home that they were in. I don't know if it was in LA or whatever. I don't remember. I don't recall. As I learned that you're supposed to say in court if you don't know what the fuck I don't recall. So now I'm walking around the house like, you know, it's like my mom like says something or whatever. I'm like, I don't recall. I'm like throwing around my legal jargon, and anyway, like just trying to like make light of it. But they showed the video that Amber, you know, she it's just her like grabbing her camera. She's like, you see her setting it down and hiding it like on a kitchen counter somewhere. And she really seemed to very intentionally try to elicit a greater reaction from Johnny Depp. It's clear he was already upset. For context, We have no idea what happened before she turned the camera on, but that when she turns the camera on, it didn't sit well with me how she hides it. And then, you know, she looks fine. She puts it down, and then she turns around to Johnny when he's like slamming kitchen cabinets and shit. And she's like, but Johnny, I don't know, like, what's going on? I don't know what happened. Like, I just woke up and I came downstairs and I was being nice to you. And I don't know why you're acting like this. And it's just like, bitch, like, what the what are you doing? Like, it's so clear. It is so fucking clear that she was building a case. She knew where this was leading. She was literally building a case for herself to be able to defend herself. But in my opinion, I've been viewing a lot of these things and seeing it play out as like, yeah, she was being very manipulative to him, whether or not you know, he defended himself against her, you know, maybe he like pushed her or whatever, you know, we don't know. They're saying things, but there's been no evidence of the fact that, like, you know, he's done anything like that. And, you know, in seeing his responses or how his team in their redirecting of the questions, they're doing a really good job of pointing out that Amber Heard's team are only giving you fractions of the scenarios, of the audio clips, of the video clips that don't tell the full context of the story. And I think that that's rather shady. But I guess, you know, when you're a defense team and you're trying to defend your client, I mean, you're going to do that. You're going to try to make the plaintiff look as horrible as possible to the jury. But again, Johnny Depp's team is doing a really good job and being like, okay, you know, like, perfect example in Johnny Depp's cross-examination, there towards, I mean, well, I don't want to say towards the end because it was kind of like throughout the entire thing, but in Johnny Depp's examination, Rottenburn, Mr. Rottenburn he was just showing, he was letting the courtroom listen to fragments of audio. And when Johnny was able to be redirected by his lawyer, she did a great job of wording her questions very specifically. Like, Mr. Rottenburn showed you, or Mr. Rottenburn, you know, let the court listen or submitted into the court this portion of this audio. We would like to play the entire audio in its full context. And then it plays, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, that makes sense why fucking Johnny's pissed and he's reacting like that, because Amber's fucking gaslighting him and being shitty and being dishonest. It's so fucking clear. So that's why I get aggravated with seeing people online only talking about shit by the little fragments of what they see being put on the internet. You cannot form a fully intelligent opinion about this if you are not following it very closely. And this is a very fucking serious situation. But moving on from the Emily D. Baker situation, TRISHA Paytas, apparently, she inserted herself into this Johnny Depp situation, and she came out with a video on her Paytas Hochman family channel. Hold on, sorry. Again, doing this in real time. One-man show. Don't be mad. TRISHA Paytas has a whole fucking 13-minute video titled "The Whole Johnny Depp Situation" that I think this is very important. Okay. I don't know what she says in this, but I've seen people post headlines about how she defends Amber Heard in this, apparently. But before I even watch the video, I think it's very telling that it has 51,500 views and only 1.1K likes. That says a lot to me, just saying.
And I know I would say, like, staying out of drama, but obviously this Johnny Depp thing is, like, everywhere. And, like, before all the, like, evidence has come out and come to light, right? I like, again, for me personally, like, you don't comment on things
It's obvious that she's not fucking watching the case. She's another one of those people that are literally just looking at headlines.
because that you're not like directly involved in. Obviously, it's a really public court case and all that stuff like that.
Yes, it's a really public court case. And in order to form a really, really, really intelligent opinion, you probably should be looking at everything in its entirety, okay? And not just what they're posting in Variety.
Big thing when like Amber Heard had her accusations come out and Johnny Depp, you know, was dropped and all that. It was like a big thing. But the thing is, there was no like audio recordings. There's nothing out at the time, right? So
there were a lot of ththings that were being leaked, and she was selling things to TMZ, but she's claiming she didn't. But Emily, that's another thing I should have pointed out in the Emily D. Baker video, is that Emily D. Baker talked about how she got, was it copyright claim on her video, that she, you know, because she was live streaming, you know, the court case. And they showed the video of Johnny flipping out in the kitchen and slamming the cabinets and Amber gaslighting him and shit. And she got a copyright claim on her channel by TMZ because they're saying that they own that video. So if, I'm sorry, but if Amber Heard recorded that video, how the fuck did they, how do they have ownership of it? You know what I'm saying? Johnny didn't fucking leak that video or sell that video to TMZ. Really points towards Amber. Just saying.
You kind of like,
but Trisha would know that if she actually did some fucking research. But anyway, again, I should probably hold my judgment, but I kind of feel like I know Trisha Paytas at this point. I've followed her on the internet for years, and I kind of feel like I have a pretty good opinion on how she characterizes certain things and situations in a not so honest light. I think that's a good way of saying it.
Who to believe. And I feel like in those situations, like, sometimes you just don't know who to believe. And there's this thing, which will probably get me canceled for saying this, is like, you know, believe all victims. And like, it's just so hard because,
girl, if you can't form your fucking thought on it, that means that you don't know enough about it. Okay, I can talk about the Johnny Depp Amber situation all fucking day because I've absorbed hours. Okay, Johnny Depp was literally on the stand for 24 hours in total, over like or more than 24 hours in a 4-day period. Okay, I watched all of it. Did you watch any of it, Trisha, other than maybe like 10 seconds on fucking TikTok? Probably not.
Only because I know firsthand both ways, right? I know firsthand where I've come forward and talked about something that happened to me and like no one believed me, obviously, because online my credibility is completely ruined and like I did that to myself, whatever, I'll take ownership of it. But it does suck when you do come out with something and then someone else comes out with the same story and garbage, and people still are like, she lied, but like they were not there. Like these are people like not directly involved. Do you know what I mean? Then I've had
see, I understand that point of it being like in the beginning, you know, like when Amber Heard first put out her op-ed that didn't name Johnny Depp, but it's pretty fucking obvious that she was talking about she was, you know, a domestic abuse survivor from, you know, like her marriage and stuff like that. So it's like, who else are you fucking talking about? You know, so I understand that like in the beginning, it looked very bad for him, but we've had a lot of time. Okay. And the fact that he lost his court case in the UK to me means nothing. Okay. It means nothing because they were not, you know, his lawyers were not able to enter into evidence everything. Okay, in that specific case, it was very specifically tailored toward suing the the company or whatever, the tabloid that posted the article. So he lost that because it's like, well, you know, you can't prove that they are the ones that are defaming you because they're going based off of, you know, what, hey, she's coming to us and she's saying that she's very much a survivor and, you know, and all these things. So yeah, of course we let her post this because, you know, what was it going to do? It's going to bring a lot of clicks, a lot of eyes to it, draw a lot of attention to the situation and to, you know, their company, their organization. So I understand how back then you can kind of be like, oh man, this doesn't look good for him. Well, Trisha, I'm sorry. We're in 2022. We've had years of things that have been leaked online about this in its entirety. And that's why, again, it's important to watch the case in its entirety because everything is being provided to you in context. So in a world where we are in April of 2022, there's no reason for someone like TRISHA Paytas to not have done fully examined research, because obviously she cares enough to make a video about this for views. So if you care enough about this to make a video for views, then you should be fully informed.
Been where someone in my life close to me, or a couple people in my life close to me, have had accusations where they denied it and the other person was adamant about it. And again, you're one of those things where like, I don't know, like obviously if you're close to someone, you're gonna you trust that person more than someone you don't know. And then it comes out that the person that you don't know that made up really horrific lies, like you hear audio of them like admitting that they made it up and lied and stuff, and you're just like, but the whole public opinion is, oh no, believe that victim, believe, they were, believe that person, even though I've heard audio recordings of people like saying, no, I did lie, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And it's just so, it does, and it can like totally, you know what I mean? It's so sad both ways. Always. It's always sad, right?
This is such an unintelligent opinion. It's so clear that she's literally just doing this to be able to put up this fucking video on this channel. And second of all, why are you putting this up on your fucking family channel? Why wouldn't you put this on your fucking blonde sundal, whatever the fuck channel? Why would you put this on your fucking family channel? Again, if you're going to do something like this, to garner views and people to come and listen to what you have to say about this, you should be fully fucking informed. You should be fully fucking informed. And it's so clear. She's literally just stretching this out. Like she's literally just like finding a way to be able to make this fucking 13-minute video. And it's just like, Trish, like so far you're not saying anything. Like so far you're literally not saying anything. But she's just speaking in very, very general terms.
Oh, some people can like ruin people's like lives, literally their lives, based on like complete lies. And I've like heard them admit to these lies, but then it's like if you sue them, they get more attention, which is what they want. And also like, what are you suing for when someone doesn't have anything other than the truth to be out there? But then it becomes a spectacle, and no matter what, people will always, it's like,
okay, here's another point. Here is literally another point that shows me that she does no research at all. Okay, because literally when Johnny Depp took the stand, he very, very, very specifically said, listen, I have already lost everything, regardless of what happens, whatever the end result of this case is between Amber Heard and I've already lost everything. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the truth being out there. All he wants is for everyone to know everything and to form their opinion from there. Okay, that's all he cares about. He's only suing her for $50 million, which obviously to somebody like me who, doesn't even fucking have $50, you know what I'm saying? Obviously to me, $50 fucking million is insane. It's incredible, right? If you come across like that huge sum of money, like it's life-changing. But she's countersuing him for $100 million, okay? Because she's trying to stand firm on the fact that she is a domestic abuse survivor, okay? And also should point out that now a part of this case is the fact that she is now saying that she was SA'd by Johnny Depp. Not only was she physically abused, she was apparently also SA'd by Johnny Depp, okay? Something that she's never talked about. When she came out with her, her domestic survivor shit, never talked about the fact that she was ever SA'd, So it's like, come on, the thinks are not thinking. It's so obvious that she literally knows nothing. It's like, if you're going to talk about this, talk about it from both sides, Trisha. Talk about it from fucking both sides and look through and what did Johnny Depp say about it? Even if you want to like fuck off and not watch the rest of the case, literally watch Johnny Depp's testimony in its entirety. Literally just watch that. Watch Johnny Depp's portion and then wait for Amber Heard's portion to come out and then form your fucking opinion.
Politics or religion, people will always pick a side, even when the truth is like blatantly staring you in the eye, right? And we're seeing that with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case. And like, I feel like the public opinion now is, Johnny Depp, he was actually the one being abused by Amber Heard. allegedly, but not allegedly because she admitted to it. Like, even her lawyer was like, oh, Amber Heard just hit him once and then flailed on him in defense a couple times. So, like, yeah, you know.
There was a lot fucking more. Oh my God. I literally am finding myself getting so frustrated watching this. But I shouldn't be surprised. I literally should have known this was going to happen.
You know, she did abuse him. And again, not to say he wasn't toxic. Obviously, there's some really gross text messages from him.
Again, if you're going to talk about the text messages, talk about understanding that Johnny Depp is somebody who really speaks in heavy fucking hyperbole. Again, it doesn't excuse the fact that a lot of what he said is fucking gross and disgusting. But the thing is that the conversations that he was having in these text messages, he was having them with like close friends, close people in his life. Like he's, you know, really good friends with actor Paul Bettany, who's Vision in, you know, the Avengers movies and stuff like that. Right. So he's texting his friend, you know, he's expressing his emotions about how frustrated he is with this person. Again, he used very specific and gross language, but the thing is that these are things that Amber Heard's team is trying to take very literally. They're trying to convince the jury that they need to take these insanely hyperbolic text messages quite literally, when the fact is, in context, it's literally he's talking to one of his friends. You cannot tell me that you don't talk shit to your friends. All of us out there, we've all got close friends, right? When we talk to our friends and we're mad about something, we feel comfortable in that moment to just fucking say whatever the fuck we need to say, to just let out the emotion that we're feeling, to release the rage, instead of going and, you know, fucking beating the shit out of somebody or doing something crazy or, you know, unaliving, you know, myself or some shit like that. You know, it's like I would prefer to be able to have somebody to go to just express myself fully, be heard, let them respond, and that's it. And it's not meant to be taken literally. If I talk about something like, oh, I fucking hate this bitch, I wish she would fucking, you know, jump off a cliff or some whatever, you're speaking in anger, but you're not going and pushing, you know, her off the cliff or whatever. But they're trying to frame it as just like, this is a form of his abuse. He was shit talking her to all of these important people, ruining her career, when in fact it's like he's literally just talking to close people that he had within his proximity that he trusted very much. He wasn't going to Warner Brothers and talking shit about Amber Heard and releasing these things. He wasn't going to, you know, any other businesses or whatever that she was aligned with. He's having insanely gross but hyperbolic conversations with his friends. That's literally what it is.
But, you know, did she lie about him being like wife beater? And hearing these tapes where she's like, I hit you, just get over it. And, you know, I've had one physical altercation in my relationship, and only one physical altercation. And not that it's only one. One is a lot, one is one too many. And I have been the one to lose my cool, to, you know, to lose my cool, basically. And I talked about this before, and it's really hard for me to talk about because it's so embarrassing, and it's like something that's never happened. It wasn't isolated, so it never happened again. And it was something that, like, that should have never happened, and it's something that, like, hurts me to this day. And people obviously throw it in my face because they know that it's the worst thing that could possibly happen, and it's something that I can't take back. So, but I guess my point of all that is I would never, I can own up to it, is basically what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I can own up to it.
Really? Okay.
I would never, like, turn it around on someone else. And that is one thing I can say. And
so you're okay. Let me just lay this out and see if I'm understanding what Trisha's saying. So Trisha's essentially saying that, you know, look, yeah, I was the abuser, you know, at one point at a really dark moment, in my relationship, you know, I was at a bad place. Understood, right? So if you are of the mind frame that, listen, I'm somebody, I own up to it, whatever, I've processed it, we've come past it, we're in a better place, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, that's fine. Understood. But don't sit here and try to frame it that Amber Heard, like, she admitted it. She came out and she said, you know, that like she lied about these things. She didn't. She literally didn't. Her team is literally vehemently denying that she was the aggressor in any of this. Again, like I said earlier, her defense team is literally playing segments of recorded audio arguments and that one video that we saw, and not playing it in its full context. So anybody can drop in the middle of an argument where one person has already been pushed over the edge and they're flipping the fuck out. And of course, if you're walking into that moment, you're going to be like, oh, you're looking a little too aggressive. Like, fuck you, piece of shit. Don't fucking talk to her like that. Like, it's easy. It's easy to form that opinion by just dropping into the conversation. But in the fact that this is a very public court case and it's literally being put out all in the open, you know, we're seeing the truth. We're literally seeing the truth.
I don't care if like people laugh at me or like whatever. I don't care if people like don't believe me, but like I've never like lied on somebody ever with an allegation.
Yeah. Oh, well, she said allegation, but I don't know. I don't know about that, Trisha. I don't know about that. There's kind of some dark things about you on the internet that have kind of been proven to be not so good for you. Just saying.
Because for me, I've always felt this way from day one of putting out YouTube videos, is like everything is easily found out, corroborated, all that stuff like that. And I had an incident last year where people started calling me a liar and just basically made up their own history, made up their own facts, got like nothing right. Other people came forward with similar stories to mine and basically just discredited it, ignored it, or said it was me creating fake accounts. So it's all frustrating, but I know, and the way I sleep at night is, yes, I made exposed.
Is that you think about it and you don't fucking care. And then now, like, when people are kind of like leaving you alone about it a little bit, you're, you know, kind of bringing it all up again and like comparing this fucking situation. I need to woosah myself. I'm feeling very triggered right now. And I don't know if it's warranted, but hey, it's what I'm feeling.
Videos on people that like cheated on me, and I regret that, but more I regret it because it's like just messy, and like, I mean, I was young, but it's just messy. But I never said one lie, you know, about anybody that I've exposed or whatever. I could, you know, when you're really hurt and angry, especially when you're young, like, and especially me, I could understand, like,
she's trying to say, like, I don't like this framing, you know. She's like, you know, you do things when you're young, you know, and you're vulnerable and stuff like that. Like, Trisha, come on. Like, we're adults. We're like the same fucking age. Like, come, give me a fucking break. All this shit literally just happened within the past few years. Girl, bye.
The psychology behind.
Oh, she gonna learn us something now. You gonna learn us about some psychology? Oh, I gotta hear this.
You know, wanting to exaggerate to really drive home like how much you hate this person and how much this person is awful. But like, I've never done it because to me that's like,
yes, you have. Literally been watching for years. Okay, I'm literally a child of YouTube. Okay, I remember when YouTube was fucking incepted, when it was literally just a meme factory.
I don't know, it's always been like ultimate karma. I had a really bad experience with karma, I guess you could say, because I put it out to the universe, and like it happened with a grandparent who I lied and said was like dying when I was very young in school. I guess to get sympathy, to get out of something, I don't know. I mean, I did have a really bad lying problem as a child, and again, it was never,
and still as an adult, but you know, whatever. I guess that's my opinion.
Like, I never would, because I always knew it would like come out, right? If you say like, oh, this happened, it'd be, to me, I always thought it's easily found out if something did or didn't take place. Not always the case, obviously, but I just was like, oh, I don't want to even chance that. So it'd always be something like, obviously a grandparent dying is like, you know, not good, but I thought the grandparent was far enough away from the state I lived in that like nobody would find out, whatever.
This is literally somebody trying to rewrite history within their own personal delusion. I mean, that's literally what this feels like to me.
come to happen, something happened to that grandparent and passed away. And I would always feel guilt for it. And if it's like, you know, if you don't believe in that kind of stuff or putting out to the universe, like, and something with death, I don't think you can really put out to the universe. It's like, you can be positive and optimistic and have wish good health for everyone, but death is inevitable, right? So, I mean, I kind of have worked through that, but I really did blame myself heavily for so long over that, for putting it out there. And again, it's a little bit on a smaller scale, but not really. You know, I wasn't trying to hurt anybody.
Already heard trying to downplay the seriousness of her manipulation. Jesus.
Anyways, all that to say, like, the whole Johnny Depp trial and all this stuff like that. It's just hard. It's just hard. I've been on both ends. I've seen both ends of.
It's not hard if you educate yourself on the facts and not just watch memes on the internet to form an opinion.
People not believing me, it sucks. And then when there's no, like, concrete evidence, like, it sucks. But I get people commenting that weren't there, saying, like, I lied and stuff like that, when they're just so far removed from it, is so crazy. And that's such an awful feeling. But
the thing is that people, like, if it's really true that the things that, you know, whatever she's referring to, I know she's hanging on like this one fucking situation, but if it's really true, why not? If you really, really, really want to lead with honesty and really, really change and be a better person, then I mean, you have to be very upfront and very open and very forthcoming about what it is that is true and what's not. But the thing is, the issue with Trisha is that Trisha always speaks in very, like, she frames her thoughts and opinions in these videos in very general terms and doesn't address things and work through things very specifically. I think that the most effective way that Trisha probably is incapable of doing is, why don't you sit at your computer, open up a fucking Google Doc, okay, and write out your thoughts about this shit. Write it out, work through what the truth is about whatever, what the lies are about whatever, be upfront about it, and move forward and be a better person and stop being so shitty. That's why everybody, I notice, you know, they still have a huge issue with Trisha, is the fact that she just literally won't do that. She says that she does, and she's like, I've already addressed this. And it's just like, no, coming out in a video and just saying that something is just not true and not providing context, backstory, and, you know, essentially creating the fully realized picture of why what these people are saying are a lie. It seems like you're hiding something. So if you're not, then if it's already out there, then be upfront and speak your truth. Don't just be like, oh, it's a lie, you know, like, like something that Ethan does a lot on his podcast. He's like, I refute that. But if you're somebody that just is just like, I refute that, and then you don't really kind of go in depth and explain why it's not true, you know, then it's going to lead a lot of people to believe that you're not necessarily being honest. And that, I'm sorry, that's literally what I'm getting.
At the same time, there's issues like this that arise that, like, you know, things don't come out until you go into this big, elaborate, expensive trial, and all this attention's on your private life and your crap issues, and it really, really sucks. Obviously it's a really toxic situation. I mean, I feel horrible for Johnny Depp to be, you know, physically abused, and in the society when you're the man being abused by a woman, I do know, like, that stigma, unfortunately, firsthand, you know, like, and again, because it's me, like, when it happened to me, like, I get it, people are like, you're awful, and it'll always be held over my head, as it should. I do think Amber Heard should always have this over her head. Now, do I think she shouldn't ever work again? I think if she shows remorse, which we're, like, not seeing, but she hasn't gone on trial yet. I don't know, you know.
And when she goes on trial, you're going to sit and you're going to watch, like, all, you know, like, multiple days of it, or are you only just going to, like, get a, you know, some fucking YouTube summary to form your opinion?
it's a tough situation, but it's something that you should always have to hold over, you should always have to have over your head.
So she's saying that, she again, she's like, of course I should always have these things over my head. She should always have it over her head. But then, continues to really fight the people online and really, can refer to all these people as trolls and people are obsessed with you. Yeah, and that, it's just like, you must really be a fan if you're just like, gonna disagree or come over here and, try to hold me accountable. It's just like, it's another form of manipulation. That's all it is. Ugh.
And obviously forgive yourself, and maybe you'll get to work again if you're lucky. I don't know. I think it's her lack of remorse and just kind of not sympathizing, but like patronizing him over it, being like, oh, you're such a baby and stuff. At the same time, Johnny Depp has lost a lot of work, money, and reputation over this whole situation.
He's lost
and it's
everything.
Really, really sad.
He went from being a big time Hollywood actor to, just being this, he after, what is it? After he got fired from Pirates of the Caribbean, literally taken away from a franchise that he built and essentially is the reason why everybody fucking loves Pirates of the Caribbean, because let's be honest, no one would give a shit about Pirates of the Caribbean if it wasn't for Johnny Depp. That is literally a fact, okay? Sorry if you disagree with me. Hey, I respect your opinion, but I'm sorry. It is very much a fact that people literally only care about that franchise because of him. He was literally taken off of Fantastic Beasts. However you feel about that movie, whether, it's good or not or whatever the fuck. Okay, understandable. Okay, hey, with the J.K. Rowling situation, I can understand how people, I actually don't even want to fucking watch Fantastic Beasts. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But he's literally been taken down so many pegs based on it's based on half truths, and maybe even labeling it as a half truth is maybe too much, because at the end of the day, I can see where Amber Heard feels like she's somebody who was impacted by this situation. However, she's the one who created this situation and is now, well, not now, but has been vehemently fighting against it and not taking responsibility and labeling Johnny Depp as this horrible piece of shit, abusive person, and not taking any accountability for her own actions. Literally has a whole fucking audio where Johnny Depp's like, you punched me in the face and shit, like, just like, I did not punch you, I hit you, okay, you're just being a big fucking baby and all this shit. And she's literally gaslighting him. There's so many moments of him just saying, leave me alone, I need to walk away, leave me alone. And she's like, no, every time we get into these arguments, like, you every time you want to walk away, you trigger me and all this fucking shit. And it's just like, dude, chill the fuck out. When you're really heated with somebody, the last thing you want to fucking do is just keep fighting. Just literally walk away for 10, 15, 20 minutes, a day even, to calm down and take your bearings. So if you have somebody that's telling you, please let me go, be on my own so I can chill the fuck out and we can come back later and talk about this like adults, and then your response to that is, no, you're gonna talk to me now, face me now, and you always want to be fucking argumentative and have all these debates and shit, like, I'm sorry, that's not okay. You're really trying to antagonize this person and really get them to a place where they're just going to fucking explode. And I just can't see how that is okay. I just can't.
So I'm glad he's getting some justice. Obviously, like, again,
are you? It didn't sound like it this entire fucking video.
And at the same time, I have a little bit of empathy towards Amber Heard.
I have no empathy for Amber Heard. Let me just be fucking clear. I have no fucking empathy for Amber Heard. None whatsoever. And you want to know why, Trisha? Because I have been watching everything. Literally everything. I have watched every word that has been spoken from all involved parties of this case. And if you are somebody that does that, it's pretty clear to, at least at this point, I am able to be like, you know what? Yeah, Yeah. She instigated this fucking shit. She literally instigated a lot of, if not 99.9% of it. Literally.
I'm not a doctor, not diagnosing, but I do feel, you know, she has something. She has like overly anxious attachment style, which I can relate to.
That's probably the most honest thing that she said so far. I mean, literally, because I think that's pretty much the case. Again, you know, not to excuse, obviously, anything that Amber Heard has done, but I do think that she really, really, really has a deep-rooted issue within herself that she really, really, really needs to take ownership of and stop trying to run away from it and, you know, essentially pin all this on that it's his fault. And that's why it'll be a big fucking deal when she finally takes the stand, because I really need to hear how she's going to respond to all this. I really need to hear it, because right now the view that I have of Amber is everything that has been submitted into evidence. That's my opinion. And based on that, it's like, yeah, you are the aggressor piece of shit. So we'll see how it plays out. But based on the evidence, that's my summation.
She doesn't want him to leave her. And so she does everything possible to like continue to fight. So he keeps engaging with her so he doesn't leave her. And I've been there in so many relationships. So it's like maybe untreated something. And so in that way,
but if you know...
guys, because when you're left untreated with like a mental illness, like it's dangerous to everybody, including yourself, and you'll soon isolate everybody, and it's really sad. So this whole situation's sad. Like I said, I'm glad Johnny Depp's getting some redemption in a situation where he was labeled the abuser but was actually getting abused physically. At the same time, I think I might be the only person with a little empathy towards
yeah, you and
Amber,
you know, 3%
there, and it's not right.
of other
it's not
people.
Okay, but you know, being untreated or you know, all that stuff is very scary, and it's the worst feeling, and you can get really low. And hearing Johnny feel, you know, talk about wanting to end his life, it's just a lot, and it's heavy, and that's my 2 cents. I don't know. All right.
Okay, that's
Let
a
me know
little
what
bit
you
of a
think.
mischaracterization, but
you know, I'm sensitive to like everything in the situation. It's all awful, and it's all awful. The whole thing's awful. When it comes to stuff like this, everything's awful. When people...
Specifically what he said in his testimony was the fact that, because they were trying to paint it as the fact that he was going to kill himself, right, with a knife that she got him, which is really, really weird. I didn't even bring that up. The fact that literally Amber Heard gifted Johnny Depp a knife that said "till death." How fucking weird is that? Okay. And they're claiming that apparently in that argument that, you know, he's like threatening to fucking kill himself and stuff like that, because she's saying, Johnny, don't, Johnny, no, don't. When in all actuality, Johnny Depp is literally saying, you took everything from me, because the context that Amber Heard's team would not provide in the beginning, that was later explained, is the fact that the time that this argument happened, where they're saying he's claiming to kill himself and stuff, is the fact that she literally convinced him, she gaslit him and convinced him with her "oh baby" shit, you know, to violate the restraining order that she put against him, to go meet with her so they can be able to privately mediate this, right? But yet she turns on the recording after they've already had this fucking huge argument, and she was trying to characterize the fact that he was going to kill himself. But in the whole context, it's literally Johnny Depp is like, look, Amber, you took everything from me. The only thing I have left to offer you is my own blood. So if you want to kill me, fucking kill me. Go ahead, fucking do it, because that's all I have left to offer. That's literally all I have left to offer you. You've taken everything from me. So, you know, come on, Trisha. That's what I'm saying. Like, this literally, like, this video makes me so fucking mad, because it's like, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention, and you're mischaracterizing this shit. And you're trying to seem fucking, you know, you're trying to be a fence sitter and sit on both sides. Like, I understand both sides.
Feel some type of way. They feel slighted. They feel this. They, you know, start exaggerating. They start doing this. Like, it's all horrible. I guess moral of the story is don't, you know, You can hold someone accountable. You can tell the world how awful someone is without exaggerating. Because the exaggeration and the lies can ruin someone's life. And you can still get justice for yourself if you think you need it, if you also just tell the truth. Because once you start showing a few cracks, you know, or as far as just admitting to hitting someone on audio, then it, you know, you lose credibility. And again, I know this because I've exaggerated things, not on people, but, you know, myself or whatever.
The untruths. The untruths continue to fly, let me tell you.
But I still stand by, I've never exaggerated on somebody, you know.
That's a lie, but okay.
Because I think, one, that's bad karma, and two, like, it's easily found out, and three, you know.
Yeah, which is exactly why I can comfortably say, yeah, it's a lie, because, you know, she has been. Sorry, you have been exposed with facts that you've lied about a lot of people. Just saying.
There's just always ways to prove it. And I've always...
But the thing is, it's like, the reason why she had gotten away with it for so long is because the people that she would lie about are people that, you know, it was easy to be able to convince people that they were fucking horrible. Just, again, my opinion.
I'm scared of, like, you know, getting sued or something. So I've always said the truth. And
you notice how I just said that very generally? I'm literally exacting her energy. You're going to speak in generalities, Trisha. I'm going to speak in generalities. Okay. I'm not going to go in and do a whole expose because I don't really give, you know, that much of a shit. But with this situation, the fact that Trisha, like, literally really wanted to speak on this, I'm like, okay, let's see what you got to say.
Drug era.
And so far, not very much.
That was just a whole other thing. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. I you know, I try and stay out of, like, gossip and this kind of stuff, but
oh, really?
Something that, like,
you notice how she's trying to bookend the video now. She started off, she's like, oh, I know I've, like, been staying out of drama, but, like, XYZ, and now she's just like, you know, I'm just, like, trying to stay out of drama and stuff. You guys know, right? You guys know all you know, 1.44 million of you guys know that I try to stay out of drama. But let me go ahead and, you know, just say things that just fucking aren't true and just mischaracterize things to, you know, make it seem like I'm credible and I know what I'm talking about, when in fact, I don't think you've done enough research to be able to form a fully realized, intelligent opinion.
Has been weighing on me and everybody seen on TikTok, and it's kind of like, you know, and it is so public, so commenting on it. I'm having a baby soon, so really I try not to. When it comes to matters of, like, me and stuff, I just don't even, like, look at anything, because I'm like, all right.
That's not true, but okay.
Now it's just people still thinking I'm faking my pregnancy, which is, people, sometimes you're just like, wow, what is my life? And it feels like a little bit of a circus. Okay, I gotta go get these nails done.
All right, anyway, I'm over it. I'm fucking over it. I'm so over it. Amazing to me how someone literally can record a 13-minute video about a topic and literally say nothing. I mean, did you get anything from that? Because I sure the fuck didn't get anything from that. But okay, Trisha. I mean, it's just it's irritating, it's annoying, and I just really feel like if you're going to make a video that's titled "The Whole Johnny Depp Situation" and it be 13 minutes, you didn't talk about the whole Johnny Depp situation. You're literally just talking about clickbaited headlines. That's literally how Trisha speaks on things. It has definitely become very apparent to me as somebody, again, who has consumed Trisha's content for a long time, is that she is somebody who speaks in clickbait. That's literally how she speaks about things. It's just very clickbaity. And this is something that she made for clickbait, but obviously with only 1.1 thousand likes on a 51,000 or 51.5 thousand viewed video, I think the public has spoken on that. But anyway, moving on from Trisha Paytas, I want to close out the episode with something a little more lighthearted. So let me go again. Let me go ahead and do the one-man show things. Oh gosh, sorry, my thinking is not going very okay. I saw this headline. I haven't read the article yet, but I saw the headline and I immediately was like, okay, I think this is something I think this is something very lighthearted to end, an episode that is just so, was so heavily fueled by this very toxic situation between uh two people that have really hurt themselves in life. So I want to move away from that. I want to end on a light note. We are going to have a great rest of this Wednesday. Okay. After I'm done with this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to continue. Why I have to catch up. I haven't watched, I didn't start the trial this morning, so I have to go back and start watching from the beginning. So I've got 8 hours of testimony ahead of me in the Johnny Depp case. So here we go. So I found this article on AP News. It is titled "Woman Rescued After Falling in Toilet Trying to Get Phone." A woman who accidentally dropped her cell phone into the hole of an outhouse in a national forest and fell in while trying to retrieve it had to be rescued by firefighters in Washington State. Brennan Fire Department Chief Tim Manley said the woman who was at the top of Mount Walker in the Olympic National Forest northwest of Seattle had been using her phone when it fell into the toilet on Tuesday, the Kitsap Sun reported. Manley said she disassembled the toilet seat and used dog leashes to try to get the phone and eventually used the leashes to tie herself off as she reached for it. That effort failed and she fell into the toilet head first. They didn't work very well and in she went, Manley said. The woman was alone and tried to get out for 10 to 15 minutes. Reunited with her phone, she called 911, Manley said. Responding firefighters passed her blocks to stand on to reach a harness, which they used to pull her out of the vault. The Brennan Fire Department said the woman said she was uninjured. She was washed down and strongly encouraged to seek medical attention after being exposed to human waste, but she only wanted to leave, the department said. I've been doing this for 40 years, and this was a first, Manley said. I mean, I've never been somebody to visit a national forest. I can't really picture. I wish they included a picture in the article of like what exactly the toilet looked like that she fell into, because I have no fucking concept of it. But I mean, hey, it'll make a great dinner conversation. Is all I gotta say. But anyway, that has been another episode of the Incredidrome Podcast. If you listened, if you watched, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I want all of you to go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, if you're watching this on YouTube, what you thought about any of the topics that we discussed today. Again, thank you very much for joining me on this episode of the Incredidrome Podcast. Y'all have a great rest of your Wednesday, and Badushki.